T.E. Lawrence, better known as Lawrence of Arabia. A figure shrouded in the mystique of desert warfare and strategic brilliance, his story interwoven with the sands of the Middle East, defined by his genius in guerrilla warfare, his deep empathy for Arab independence, and the enigmatic persona that followed him until his untimely death. Born in Wales in 1888, Lawrence, with an early fascination with history and archaeology, would go on to play a pivotal role in shaping modern history. Before diving into the battles and his unmatched strategy, it's key to mention his early life, which sowed the seeds for his later exploits. Lawrence's interest in history and cultures was evident from his early days, leading him to study history at Jesus College, Oxford. His fascination with archaeology took him to the Middle East, where he worked on various digs and became deeply immersed in the region, its people, and its languages, which would be useful in his future campaigns against the Ottoman Empire. World War I. It was the pivot that turned Lawrence from scholar to soldier and strategist. The Ottoman Empire, one of the largest empires in the modern era, containing North Africa, the Balkans, Turkey, Mesopotamia, the Middle East, and Egypt at its peak. At the outbreak of war, though, Egypt had been under British occupation for decades. As war erupted across Europe in 1914, T.E. Lawrence's skills caught the attention of British intelligence. Initially, he was stationed in Cairo because of his expertise in the Middle East. In 1916, he would go on to become a liaison officer to the Arab Revolt, using his unique understanding of Arab customs, politics, and tactics to plan attacks and position the Arab forces. Lawrence's strategy centered on guerrilla warfare, aimed at undermining the Ottoman Empire's control over the Arabian Peninsula. He orchestrated attacks on railway lines, bridges, and garrisons, significantly disrupting Ottoman logistics and communications. The Hejaz Railway, a crucial artery feeding the mighty beast of the Ottoman Empire, joining Damascus in Syria to Medina in Arabia, the main link between the two most important territories in the Ottoman Empire. Taking control of this line would cut off supplies and hamper communication, putting the Ottoman forces at a serious disadvantage. However, it seemed like a Herculean task. So Lawrence, eschewing traditional methods, devised a crafty plan to disrupt the operations along this railway. Rather than a full-scale assault designed to seize the railway in one swoop, Lawrence decided to employ guerrilla warfare tactics. His strategy was to regularly attack different points along the railway, making use of small, nimble raiding parties composed of tribal Arab forces. These groups, highly mobile on their camels, could strike swiftly and retreat just as quickly, disappearing into the vast Arabian desert. The strength of this strategy lay in its unpredictability and sustainability. No point along the railway was safe, creating an atmosphere of ongoing tension and uncertainty and rendering the railway unusable. The Battle of Akuba. One of his major victories was the capture of Akuba in 1917. Akuba held strategic importance, but its location made it a fortress thought impregnable from land attacks. Built with the Red Sea on its three sides and the vast, almost impassable desert on the fourth, its natural fortifications made it seemingly impregnable to most land-based offenses. Embark by sea, and even if you avoid the Ottoman Navy, you'll be pounded by heavy, focused artillery fire. Lawrence proposed an audacious plan to approach Akuba from its blind spot through the vast, unforgiving deserts of the Middle East. With blistering heat, unpredictable sandstorms, little cover from enemy troops, and a severe scarcity of water sources, to sustain an army through such an environment was a logistical nightmare. Overcoming this demanded a strict rationing of water and food, nighttime marches to avoid extreme daytime heat, and incredible discipline to navigate the treacherous terrain in a 6-week trek across the desert. He rallied a small, agile force of Arab tribesmen who were familiar with the challenging conditions and could move swiftly on camels. Avoiding direct routes which were well defended, they traversed lesser-known desert paths with the assistance of experienced local Bedouin guides. Lawrence's forces arrived at the rear of Akuba's defenses, catching the Ottomans completely off guard and bringing a swift victory with minimal casualties. Throughout the revolt, Lawrence's strategies were marked by his ability to blend military tactics with deep respect for Arab tactics and traditions. He helped organize and guide guerrilla warfare operations, striking railways, supply lines, and isolated garrisons. His approach wasn't just military, it was psychological, understanding the importance of morale and the power of a shared vision for Arab independence. His efforts in these years were not just in combat but also in diplomacy. Lawrence worked closely with Arab leaders, particularly Prince Faisal, fostering a vision of an independent Arab state. His deep respect for Arab culture and his ability to bridge cultural divides were instrumental in his success. He was a crucial figure in negotiating and supporting the vision of an independent Arab state, although this vision would ultimately die with the Sykes-Picot Agreement, a secret wartime agreement between the UK and France to divide Arab territories after the war, which Lawrence saw as a betrayal of the promises made to the Arabs. Despite his achievements, Lawrence was a complex character, plagued by inner conflicts and disillusionment with the post-war political machinations that betrayed the promises made to the Arab people. He sought solace in anonymity in later years, enlisting in the Royal Air Force under assumed names. Lawrence's legacy is a fascinating mix of myth and reality, enduring long after his tragic death in a motorcycle accident on May 19, 1935, at the age of 46. He has been immortalized in the epic 1962 film Lawrence of Arabia, directed by David Lean, which captures both the drama of his military campaigns and the complexity of his character. His life story has inspired countless other books and movies. Particularly Brian Herbert, son of Frank Herbert, the author of the Dune series, has stated that T.E. Lawrence had the largest influence on the character Paul Atreides in Frank Herbert's Dune, and the similarities are evident. Lawrence of Arabia, the son of a British nobleman; Paul Atreides, the son of a Caledonian nobleman; Lawrence of Arabia becoming one of the Arabs in a sense, and Paul Atreides becoming one of the Fremen; Lawrence of Arabia's warriors fighting atrocious Turks; Muad'Dib's warriors slaughtering atrocious Harkonnens. Both are figures who immerse themselves in foreign cultures, becoming pivotal leaders in desert-based revolts, and both are marked by their struggles with identity and destiny. Even certain scenes seem to have been influenced by T.E. Lawrence's life. Portrayed in the David Lean film, Lawrence had a habit of extinguishing a burning match with the fingers, showing pain has little hold on him.
The trick, William Potter, is not minding that it hurts.
In Dune, Paul Atreides' hand is stuffed in a box of pain, and he resists his instincts, enduring to avoid the Gamjabar. Today, T.E. Lawrence remains a symbol of British military ingenuity and the enduring fascination with the Middle East. But Lawrence was more than just a military genius. He was a scholar and writer, deeply immersed in Arab culture. His respect for the people and their customs earned him the trust and loyalty of many Arab leaders, contributing significantly to his success on the battlefield. His famed work, 7 Pillars of Wisdom, not only recounts his war experiences, but also serves as a poignant exploration of the challenges and beauty of the Arab world.